Hey y'all. So we're going to go ahead and continue on with our Anne Frank adventure here in the annex. So far, Anne and the two families have been in hiding for many, many months. In the play is made up of two acts, Act 1 and Act 2. Today we're going to finish Act 1. This is going to pick up right around Hanukkah time, which is right around Christmas. So Mr. Dussel has come to join the other two families. He's staying in Anne's room, and Anne and Mr. Dussel are not getting along well at all. Also, as Mr. Dussel arrived, he brought news about the outside world and what's happening to Jewish people in Amsterdam. They are starting to be rounded up and sent to concentration camps. So it's more important now than ever that our families stay hidden and that nobody suspects that they've gone into hiding. So today we're going to pick up with a scene during Hanukkah, and here we go. We're going to finish Act 1 today. All right.
Scene 5. It is the first night of the Hanukkah celebration. Mr. Frank is standing at the head of the table, on which is the menorah. He lights the shamos, or servant candle, and holds it as he says the blessing. Seated listening is all of the family, dressed in their best. The men wear hats. Peter wears his cap. Praised be thou, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has sanctified us with thy commandments, and bidden us kindle the Hanukkah lights. Praised be thou, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has wrought wondrous deliverances for our fathers in days of old. Praised be thou, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, that thou hast given us life and sustenance, and brought us to this happy season. Mr. Frank lights the one candle of the menorah as he continues. We kindle this Hanukkah light to celebrate the great and wonderful deeds wrought through the zeal with which God filled the hearts of the heroic Maccabees 2,000 years ago. They fought against indifference, against tyranny and oppression, and they restored our temple to us. May these lights remind us that we should ever look to God, whence cometh our help. Amen.
I just want to point out here that there are some parallels here in the story of Hanukkah with what is currently happening with the Jewish people in Nazi Germany, or Nazi Amsterdam now. So this is kind of a powerful prayer to have them celebrate. I think a lot of us would think, if we'd been in hiding for that long, we may not feel like we have reason to celebrate some of our most important holidays. So I think it's really cool that Anne and her family and the Van Dans and Mr. Dussel get together to celebrate this holiday in the annex.
Amen. Mr. Frank hands Mrs. Frank the prayer book.
I lift up mine eyes unto the mountains, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. He that keepeth Israel doth neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall keep thee from all evil. He shall keep thy soul. The Lord shall guard thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and forevermore. Amen.
Amen. Mrs. Frank puts down the prayer book and goes to get the food and wine. Margot helps her. Mr. Frank takes the men's hats and puts them aside. That was very moving.
It isn't over yet. Sit down, sit down. There's a lot more. Songs and presents.
Presents?
Not this year, unfortunately. But always on Hanukkah, everyone gives presents. Everyone.
Like our St. Nicholas Day. No!
No, not like St. Nicholas. What kind of a Jew are you that you don't know Hanukkah? I remember particularly the candles. First one, as we have tonight. Then, the second night you light 2 candles, the next night 3, and so on until you have 8 candles burning. When there are 8 candles, It is truly beautiful. And the potato pancakes.
Oh, don't talk about them.
I make the best latkes you ever tasted. Invite us all next year, in your own home.
God willing.
God willing. What I remember best is the presents we used to get when we were little. 8 days of presents, and each day they got better and better. We are all here alive. That is present enough. No, it isn't. I've got something.
She rushes into her room, hurriedly puts on a little hat improvised from the lampshade, grabs a satchel bulging with parcels, and comes running back.
What is it? Presents! Presents?
Look! What she got on her head? A lampshade. She picks one out at random.
This is for Margot.
She hands it to Margot, pulling her to her feet.
Read it out loud. You have never lost your temper. You never will, I fear. You are so good, but if you should, put all your crosswords here.
She tears open the package.
A new crossword puzzle book. Where did you get it? It isn't new. It's one that you've done. But I rubbed it all out. And if you wait a little and forget, you can do it all over again. It's wonderful, Anne. Thank you. You'd never know it wasn't new.
From outside, we hear the sound of a streetcar passing.
Mrs. Fondant? This is awful. I haven't anything for anyone. I never thought.
This is all Anne's idea. Holding up a bottle.
What is it? It's hair shampoo. I took all the odds and ends of soap and mixed them with the last of my toilet water.
Pause. Okay, toilet water is not literally water from the toilet here. Toilet water is like a type of, it's spelled like, it's spelled differently. Let me just show you guys here. So toilet water. So toilet water is a fancy name for perfume or eau de toilette. Not that kind of toilet. This is just a type of perfume. So basically she took all the soap they had and she mixed it with what was left of her perfume to actually make the shampoo, which is cool. Not real toilet water. Continuing.
Oh, Annika. I wanted to write a poem for all of them, but I didn't have time.
Offering a large box to Mr. Van Daan.
Yours, Mr. Van Daan, is really something. Something you want more than anything. Look! Cigarettes!
Cigarettes?
2 of them. Pim found some old pipe tobacco in the pocket lining of his coat, and we made them. Or rather, Pim did. Let me see. Well, look at that. Light it, Pooty, light it.
Mr. Van Daan hesitates.
He doesn't trust her.
It's tobacco. Really it is. There's a little fluff in it, but not much.
Everyone watches intently as Mr. Van Daan cautiously lights it. The cigarette flares up. Everyone laughs. It works.
Look at him.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you. Anne rushes back to her satchel for another present, handing her mother a piece of paper.
For Mother, Hanukkah greeting.
She pulls her mother to her feet.
Here's an IOU that I promise to pay. 10 hours of doing whatever you say. Signed Anne Frank.
Mrs. Frank, touched, takes Anne in her arms, holding her close. 10 hours of doing what you're told? Anything you're told?
That's right.
You wouldn't want to sell that, Mrs. Frank.
Never. This is the most precious gift I've ever had.
She sits, showing her present to the others. Anne hurries back to the satchel and pulls out a scarf, the scarf that Mr. Frank found in the first scene.
If you might recall, when this play opened up, we saw Mr. Frank going into an empty annex, and he found 2 things. There was a glove on the floor, and there was a scarf hanging from a nail. So this is the same scarf that Mr. Frank sees in the first scene. This is where it came from.
For Pim.
Annika, I wasn't supposed to have a present. He takes it, unfolding it, and showing it to the others.
It's a muffler to put round your neck, like an ascot, you know. I made it myself out of odds and ends. I knitted it in the dark each night, after I'd gone to bed. I'm afraid it looks better in the dark.
It's fine. It fits me perfectly. Thank you, Angela. Ann hands Peter a ball of paper with a string attached to it.
That's for Mushi.
On behalf of Mushi, I thank you.
And this is yours, from Mrs. Quack Quack. Well, open it. Aren't you going to open it?
I'm scared to. I know something's going to jump out and hit me.
No, it's nothing like that, really. What is it, Peter? Go on, show it. It's a safety razor.
A what?
A razor. You didn't make that out of odds and ends. Meep got it for me. It's not new, it's second-hand. But you really do need a razor now.
For what?
Look on his upper lip. You can see the beginning of a mustache.
Awkward.
He wants to get rid of that. Put a little milk on it and let the cat lick it off.
Ugh.
Think you're funny, don't you? Look, he can't wait. He's going in to try it. I'm going to give Mushi his present. He goes into his room, slamming the door behind him. Mushi, Mushi, Mushi. In the distance, we hear a dog persistently barking. Ann brings a gift to Dussel.
And last, but never least, my roommate, Mr. Dussel.
For me? You have something for me?
They don't get along well.
He opens the small box she gives him.
I made them myself.
Capsules? 2 capsules.
They're earplugs.
Earplugs?
To put in your ears so you won't hear me when I thrash around at night. I saw them advertised in a magazine. They're not real ones. I made them out of cotton and candle wax. Try them. See if they don't work. See if you can hear me talk.
Putting them in his ears. Wait now until I get them in. So.
Are you ready?
Huh?
Are you ready?
Good God! They've gone inside! I can't get them out! They laugh as Mr. Dussel jumps about, trying to shake the plugs out of his ears. Finally, he gets them out, putting them away. Thank you, Ann. Thank you. A real Hanukkah.
Wasn't it cute of her? I don't know when she did it. I love my present. And now, let's have the song, Father.
I want to pause for a second and just point this out. So Anne is the one that ended up giving presents to everyone. I want you to think about what this shows about our character, who's a real person, what this shows about on herself. So some of the presents were thoughtfully made from odds and ends around the house. Some of them were saved up for and gotten through Meep. And they're all very thoughtful for each person. So what do these choices of gifts show about Anne's character? Something to think about. All right.
Please. Have you heard the Hanukkah song, Mr. Dussel? The song is the whole thing. Oh Hanukkah, the sweet celebration.
I'm afraid, Ann, we shouldn't sing that song tonight. It's a song of jubilation, of rejoicing. One is apt to become too enthusiastic.
Oh, please, please. Let's sing the song. I promise not to shout.
Very well, but quietly now. I'll keep an eye on you, and when... As Ann starts to sing, she's interrupted by Dussel, who is snorting and wheezing. Pointing to Peter. You! Peter is coming from his bedroom, ostentatiously holding a bulge in his coat, as if he were holding his cat, and dangling Ann's present before it. How many times I told you, out!
As you might recall, Mr. Dussel is allergic to cats and reminds them constantly.
Going to Peter. What's the matter with you? Haven't you any sense? Get that cat out of here. Cat? You heard me. Get it out of here. I have no cat. Delighted with his joke, he opens his coat and pulls out a bath towel. The group at the table laugh, enjoying the joke. It doesn't need to be the cat. His clothes are enough. When he comes out of that room, don't worry. You won't be bothered anymore. We're getting rid of it.
No.
At last you listen to me. He goes off into his bedroom. I'm not doing it for you. That's all in your mind. All of it. He starts back to his place at the table. I'm doing it because I'm sick of seeing that cat eat all our food. That's not true. I only give him bones, scraps. Don't tell me. He gets fatter every day. Damn cat looks better than any of us. Out he goes tonight.
No.
No, no.
Mr. Von Don, you can't do that. That's Peter's cat.
If he goes, I go. Go, go.
You're not going and the cat's not going.
Fine.
Now please, this is Hanukkah. Hanukkah. This is the time to celebrate. What's the matter with all of you? Come on, An, let's have the song. Oh, Hanukkah. Shen.
I think we should first blow out the candle. Then we'll have something for tomorrow night.
I'm going to pause right there and we're going to continue this when I come back. That was my bell. So I will continue this in a little bit.